Well, now to a case that's divided Israel between those who think they saw an execution and others who say they saw self-defense. Now, a military court has sentenced the Israeli soldier Elor Azaria to 18 months in a military prison and a year of probation. He had been found guilty of manslaughter for fatally shooting a wounded Palestinian knife attack suspect. Now, let me just take you back through what happened. This is Azaria near the Far ambulance there last March at a settlement in Hebron in the West Bank. You're seeing the scene just minutes after what the Israeli military says was an attack by two knife-wielding Palestinians on soldiers there. They shot one of the alleged attackers dead on the spot and shot but only wounded the other. He's in the black on the left there, still alive, but then Azaria cocked his gun and shot him once in the forehead. Well, CNN's Oren Libermann joins us now from Jerusalem for more on all of this. Oren, he could have faced up to 20 years in prison. Prosecutors wanted 5 years, but he got 18 months. Still, you're seeing an outcry from his supporters.
Absolutely, a very big outcry that we've seen not only today and the day that the verdict came down, but since the very moment that Elor Azaria was arrested, and certainly since he was charged with manslaughter in this case. As you mentioned, 20 years is the maximum sentence for manslaughter. Nobody here really expected that. Prosecutors asked for 3 to 5 years, and we were a bit surprised when we heard the sentence in this case. 18 months in military prison, 12 months of probation on top of that. Now, that does not include 10 months of open detention he's had on a military base since this whole process started about 10 months ago. So the 18 months in military prison is on top of that, and then 12 months of probation after that. We've seen reactions and different reactions from across the political spectrum here, as has been expected, because this is such a case that divided Israeli society. Right-wing politicians have immediately called for Elor Azaria's pardon and release. Left-wing politicians have said this points out a major problem in the Israeli legal system, in the military justice system, that he was convicted of manslaughter and is only getting 18 months in prison. While centrist politicians say this was a very difficult period in Israel's history, its recent history, and it's time for the entire nation to try to move on together. So you're seeing very different reactions here in a case that very much divided Israeli society.
Azaria's team, of course, do plan to appeal this. How soon could that be heard?
That's unclear at this point. They have a few options in the military justice system. They could file an appeal, and his lawyers have promised to do that. They could ask for a pardon, and that would involve both the Israeli military chief of staff as well as the president of Israel, Oren Libermann, who has the final say there. Or they could ask one of the commanders in the Israeli military to lighten the sentence. So they have a number of different options here. Of course, this case was just as interesting to Palestinians who have watched this very closely. We've heard from Palestinian leaders. We've also heard from Abdel Fattah al-Sharif's father. That's the Palestinian, the wounded assailant who was shot and killed by Azaria. Them saying that this light sentence is indicative of the injustice in the Israeli justice system that treats Israelis one way and Palestinians another.
All right, we will be following this closely. Oren Libermann, good to have you with us. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you.